Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. My name is Mark Bolger. I'm the Director of Sales for Final Expense here at Pinnacle, and I am joined by Warren Redinger, who is our Director of Sales for Life and Annuities. Got all of our contact information right up on the screen here, so feel free to take this down. Email addresses are phone extensions here. Feel free to give us a call if you guys have any questions. Again, I wanted to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to join us. We're going to be going over some of the basics over in regards to life insurance and final expense and what Pinnacle has to offer. We're going to be going through some of the quoting tools and kind of giving you a little bit of background on traditional life insurance as well as final expense. So to get started here, I'm sorry, real quick, just a couple of housekeeping items. We do have the phones muted, so if you guys have any background noise going on, it's totally fine. It's not going to be interrupting the broadcast. So, and one more thing too, we will be sending out a recorded copy of this presentation as soon as we're finished. So anybody who has to leave early or wants this for their records, we'll be sure to get that over to you. All right, so let's get started here. Just a little bit about Pinnacle Financial. For those of you that don't know us, we are located right outside of Philadelphia, over in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Some of the products that we cover here, fixed, index, and immediate annuities, universal life, index universal life, single premium life, whole life, final expense, term life, long-term care, and Medicare. Okay, and our website, which we'll be going over in a little bit here, but for those of you that are not familiar, it's pfsinsurance.com. If you're not registered on our site, please feel free to go over there. You can get a temporary username and password for 7 days, and you can certainly use that. If you are connected with us, you should have a username and password, for you to get access to that. And again, it's basically like a central hub where we kind of, keep all of the information from the carriers, all of the different tools and resources from the carriers. We like to keep them all in one central location. This way, you're not having to remember all your different usernames and passwords, going to all the different carriers' websites. It can get a little bit cumbersome. So we try and make that as easy as possible for you. It's obviously available 24/7. We have forms online where you can go on there and you can grab the applications from various carriers, marketing materials, etc. We also offer discounted CEs and E&O insurance. So if you're looking to renew that, certainly check out our discounts that we get from CalSurance and WebCE. We try to keep up to date with all the current life, annuity, and long-term care news. We have a whole section dedicated to the industry news that's going on, incentives, bonuses, different trips that the companies are doing. We try and keep that stuff up to date as much as possible. Certainly feel free to check that out. Let us know if you have any questions. And as I mentioned too before, we have all the quoting software right from our website. And you can do those for annuities, long-term care, term life, GUL, Medicare, as well as final expense. So we'll be going into a couple samples for you in a little bit here. Another big feature about Pinnacle, we do paperless contracting. Saves you so much time from having to go through 30 to 40 pages of contracting per carrier. Once you get set up with us, you're only filling out one piece of paperwork. It's a couple pages. Once you get that into us, we use that information to apply you to multiple carriers at once. So it's quick and it's efficient. You can always just give us a call or shoot us an email if you'd like to get it set up with a new carrier. We'll take care of that for you. It's pretty much as painless as possible. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a quick little overview here about final expense before I give it over to Warren, and then we'll be going back over to our website and we'll show you how to quote some of these products. So just a little bit about final expense for those of you that are not well versed in final expense. What they are whole life policies, and generally they're going to be small whole life policies. Anywhere from $5,000 up to $50,000. Generally, the national average cost of a funeral is anywhere from like $9,000 to $12,000. So, that certainly fits in with the small whole life types of policies. They do not have to be used to pay for a funeral, although most of them are kind of purchased for that reason. But anything that's left over, you can certainly leave to your beneficiaries. They can use that money for however they choose to. They could have some outstanding household bills or some credit card bills that you need to take care of. They can certainly use that for that. The death benefit never decreases and the premiums will never increase. So once your client gets set up with a final expense policy, their rates are locked in for life. Okay, so as long as they're paying those premiums every month or every year, however they're set up to pay, they are guaranteed that death benefit. I can't tell you how many times agents will call up and say that their client signed up with some other company, and now their rates are increasing, every couple of years. They tell me it's a small final expense policy, and I can't believe that the rates go up. So all of the companies that we have under Pinnacle, you can be sure that you are going to be able to lock in those rates and that death benefit. Okay. Final expense, it's very easy to sell. It's easy for clients to qualify for. One of those main reasons is because it does not require a medical exam like your traditional life insurance will. These are all simplified issue, so it's just a couple of yes/no health questions, and as long as your client can answer no to them or most of the questions, then they can qualify for it. We also have what's called a guaranteed issue, which has an automatic 2-year waiting period. This is perfect for clients that currently have or have recently had some sort of major medical issue. This has absolutely no underwriting questions. They're guaranteed accepted. It just has that 2-year limited death benefit though. Okay, these products are designed for seniors in mind. So you'll see that some of the health questions on there are related for people that are between the ages of 50 and 85. Okay, so it's not like there's basically something for everybody. And certainly give us a call. We have tons of different products, as we'll show you in a couple minutes here, certainly to fit your client's needs. Another very important thing about final expense is that all of these policies are going to build cash value. Okay, regardless if it's a guaranteed issue or if it's an immediate death benefit, these policies will build cash value that your clients can use for policy loans. Okay, so it's a very big point in regards to final expense. Okay, and I wanted to kind of just give you an overview of the 3 types of plans for final expense. Certainly not all of them. We do have some limited pay options as well, but I figured I'd cover the top 3 or the most common. So first one we have is our level benefit, and what this is it's immediate coverage for your client, and it's also an immediate death benefit for your client. So if they purchase the policy and God forbid something happens to them, in a few days, they are covered. Okay, and this type of product is ideal for your clients that have little to no health issues. We want to be sure that they can answer, the 10 to 15 health questions as no on the app. And you'll see that most of these companies, like I said, are designed for seniors. So a lot of these health questions, it might be pretty easy for them to answer no through. Okay. The level benefits also are going to have the best rates for your client. It's going to have the best commissions for you, the agent, as well. So if you look over on the right-hand side, I have sample premiums listed for level benefit. I ran it for a 65-year-old male non-smoker with a death benefit of about $10,000. And you'll see with a level benefit, this client is able to qualify for $53.82 per month. Okay. Now we move down to the second category here, which is graded and modified. This might be if your client maybe answers 1 or 2, maybe 3 of the health questions as a yes. They can certainly still qualify for the policy, but it's going to have a limited death benefit. It's not going to be an automatic limited death benefit for 2 years like a guaranteed issue is, but most of the time they are. Some companies will give you like a portion of the face amount if death occurs in the first 2 years. It really just all depends on which carrier you're going through. Sometimes it makes sense to maybe just switch to a guaranteed issue. Maybe those prices are a little bit cheaper. So I'll show you guys an example of that in a little bit here. But for graded modified benefit, again, it's still simplified issue. They are going through the yes/no underwriting. These are going to be for the clients that have minor to semi-major health issues. And you'll see that it's going to be more expensive than a level benefit, but it's still, in most cases, cheaper than a guaranteed issue. So it's a little bit like middle down the road. And if you look on the right-hand side, I have a sample premium of $83.70 for $10,000 for that same 65-year-old male non-smoker. Okay. And then lastly here, we have the guaranteed issue, which has no underwriting questions whatsoever. They're automatically approved and accepted. Just automatically has that graded death benefit for 2 years. So if death occurs in those first 2 years, it's return of premium plus 10%. So this is ideal for your clients that have the major health issues, like currently, or let's say in the last couple of years they've experienced something pretty major. Obviously, it's going to be more expensive than the level and the graded modified plans in most cases. You'll see a few companies are pretty competitive, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And then obviously you'll see that the commissions kind of drop a little bit from anywhere from 50 to 80%. And sample here is $110 a month for $10,000 for that same client. Okay, so this is a great little tool to have. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this or save it for your records, it'll kind of give you a good 1,000-foot view of the some of the final expense policies we have. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Warren here. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the term life and guaranteed universal life, and then he's going to switch it back to me. I'm going to take you guys through the website here. So here is Warren Redinger.
Thank you, Mark. So I just wanted to talk today. I just kind of wanted to explain what term life insurance is and guaranteed universal life for any of those that don't know. I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. What is term life insurance? It's basically it's an insurance policy that provides death benefit for a certain amount of time, whether that's 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever that may be. The policy does not build any cash value. It's plain and simple. It is a death benefit, and that's it. Once the term runs out, you've got a couple options of what you can do with that policy. You can just renew it for another term. You can convert it to permanent coverage anytime, and that'll allow you to carry it for the rest of your life. Or you just let it go, and then you take the chance. So what are the benefits of it? Well, term insurance allows people to get the most money they can, biggest death benefit for the lowest amount of premium. The death benefits are usually not subject to federal income tax and often are exempt from state inheritance tax and avoid the probate. And term insurance is also very good for temporary life needs. And whether you need it for, some kind of debt you might have, or, while your children are still growing, a lot of people get it for that type of reason. They have kids, young kids, and then when the kids move out of the house, 20s, whatever, they might not need as much of a life insurance benefit. So it's good for temporary use. Some of the top companies that we have here, in no particular order, just listed them there, but Lincoln Financial, North American, Protective, William Penn. Those are some of the top companies we have. And they are, like I said, no particular order. So that's term insurance. It's very, very simple to understand. There's not a lot of working parts to it. It is, like I said, it's just basically a death benefit for a certain number a year. So the next thing would be our guaranteed universal life insurance. A lot of people are not familiar with this, and it's despite what its name is, it's not a whole life policy, but it is designed to last your entire life. Okay. It says it does not build cash value. It builds a little tiny bit of cash value, but it's not to be used to get loans or anything like that, and the cash value actually kind of runs out through the period, even though you do remain with a death benefit. But it's designed to keep your monthly payments low. So as where like you might have a universal life policy or an IUL where it does build cash value, this is not designed to do that. And it also doesn't carry the expensive management fees of whole life. And what it does though is a GUL offers a fixed premium rates through the life of the policy, just like a term does. Although, like I said a little bit ago, while term has it for a specified number of years, GUL policies are set to specific ages. So it's going to guarantee it to a certain age, whether it's 90, 100, 121 even. So it's going to be guaranteed through that time period. That way, people are living longer nowadays, and, they need to guarantee and make sure that they have a death benefit that's going to last them for their life. Yeah, even if it's 121 years old, at that point it will still be there, and if they die, it'll pay out. So some of the benefits of guaranteed universal life, the cost of insurance will not change even as you get older or if your health changes. Kind of like what Mark was saying with the final expense, it never increases and the death benefit never decreases. Your coverage isn't tied to an investment. So you don't run the risk of losing coverage from unfavorable investments, kind of like if you had an IUL. Even those things, they're tied to the S&P 500, but you're not going to lose any money or anything like that. Variable products, though, if you have a variable life insurance policy, it is tied to the market, and there might be a chance that you could lose the money or death benefit or whatever. So you also pay for the life insurance protection only, just like term insurance. They're very similar. They both provide the death benefit, but this one here is designed to last your entire life. And this is the least expensive form of a permanent policy. Again, some of our top companies here are North American, Protective, Mutual of Omaha, and AIG. Again, no particular order, just wanted to show you some of our companies that we have for this. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mark, and he's going to go through our website, and we're going to run a couple quotes for you, final expense and term and GUL.
Okay, thank you so much, Warren. Excellent. Okay, we're going to take you over to our website. This is our main page here. It's pfsinsurance.com, and I'm going to show you how to run some quotes. I'll start with the final expense here and show you a couple different examples, and then Warren will show you some term and GUL quotes. So real quick, once you get to our site, just go over to quotes. First one there is final expense quotes, and it'll take you to a page that looks like this here. Very simple, quoting page here. You just got to put in just a little bit of information about your client. We'll choose the state. We can do Pennsylvania just for the sake of argument. Let's make him 60 years old. Just choose male, non-smoker. The face amount, we'll keep that right around 10,000. And benefit type. So as we went over the level, the graded and guaranteed issue earlier, this is where you can select those. Most of the time you do want to maybe start with a level benefit, especially if you're not sure what your client's health is like. It's probably good to run them a quote from maybe each one of these different categories so that when you go to meet with them at your appointment, you can kind of go over, or you're at least prepared with all three. Based on their health issues. So we'll just select level for now. Access key, that's just internal here, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see, we'll get quotes now. And it looks something like this here. It's a very simple and basic quoting engine. It'll get you the monthly and the annual premium. It's going to be sorted by least expensive to the most expensive. Obviously, you see the carrier logos on the left-hand side. Product name over on the right-hand side. Always important to remember what the name of the product is. So you're going to have to, put that into the application. You have some little PDF guides here, which are basically taken from the specific carrier. It's like a little agent guide. It's going to give you some information about the product, some of the underwriting guidelines and height and weight charts, things like that. For applications, we currently don't have them available on our website from the quoting software, but you just have to give us a call, shoot us an email, say that you want an application for any of these companies here. We'll make sure that we get you contracted, and then we'll send you all of the necessary materials that you need. Okay, so again, these are a level benefit, immediate death benefit. We'll see here again, Mutual of Omaha is one of our top companies. Americo, United Home Life, Cigna. These are some well-known companies throughout the country. And yeah, I mean it's nice to put a side-by-side comparison in front of your clients. And kind of let them choose what price fits them, which one is most affordable and everything. So let's say if I want to go up here, and as I'm talking with my client, I realize that they have recently had some major health issues. Let's say maybe the client had a heart attack in the last year. We want to look at some graded and modified coverage options. So you'll see up here, it's about $40 to $50 for the level benefit. As soon as I change it to graded modified, okay, we're getting up into like that mid $60 to $70 range. Okay, so you'll see all the different companies that have a graded modified product. If you look on the right-hand side, there's a little icon. You can click that, and it's going to show you what the graded death benefit is. So in this case, for Baltimore Life, they actually have a portion of the face amount that's paid to the beneficiaries in the first 2 years. So if death occurs in the first year, it's actually 25% of that face amount. So from $10,000, they'll pay $2,500 to the beneficiaries if a client passes away in that first year. If they pass away in the second year of the policy, they're getting 50% of the face amount. So that's $5,000. And then year 3 going forward, they're getting 100% of that face amount. Okay, so $66, you'll see that. Let's move over to a guaranteed issue, which we know is going to be an automatic 2-year waiting period, just to see what their prices look like. Okay, so already I see that these two companies, AIG and Gerber, are a little bit cheaper than this graded modified over with Baltimore Life. So $66 versus a guaranteed issue at $63. That's something that you want to certainly mention to your client. Now, the difference is obviously this is going to be, has a 2-year waiting period. If death occurs in the first 2 years, it's return of premium plus 10%. So to save a couple bucks, it might make more sense for them to do something with Baltimore Life, where they had a portion of the face amount that's paid out in the first 2 years. So this, I wanted to kind of just go over that just so you're aware to look at some of these other death benefits before you, before you and your client decide to go through with something. So always very important to look out for that. Certainly, if you have questions about this software, feel free to give myself a call or anybody here in our office. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with that. And again, what's nice too is you can switch back and forth from the different benefit types. Maybe you want to run some smoker versus non-smoker rates. You can certainly do that just by clicking a couple buttons up here. So very good. I'm going to get this right over to Warren here. He's going to walk you through some term and GUL quotes, and we'll probably wrap it up from there. But yep, without further ado, let me get you over to Warren here.
All right. So I'll show you some quick pieces of information here. Anything in yellow that's highlighted has to be filled out. You don't need the name, anything like that, but you can put whoever you want in there. We'll just put John Doe for sake of argument here, and we'll just make him 45. If you know the date of birth, great. That's great. That's even better. So we'll just make sure that he's a male. So right here under product information, this box right here, it says term or guaranteed universal life. That's where you can pick for whatever product you want to do or whatever insurance you want to do. We'll run a term right now. And this product group, don't worry about that. But this one right here where it says select term length, you can select all of them in there you want. So we'll put 10, we'll do a 15, a 20, and a 30. And then over here in death benefits, you got to put at least one. So we'll just do 100,000 here. And you can do up to 3. So we'll do, let's say 250,000. And we'll do 500,000 over here. So we'll skip down here to the underwriting information. You can either enter their health profile in, which you can put their height and weight, and then there's more questions on there. That might eliminate some companies because it's not fully set up to have all the information. So I normally just select health class, and we'll run them today as a standard non-tobacco. And you can try, you can do preferred also if you're not sure, if you want to, try everything. But I like to run everything as a standard because, it's not up to me, it's up to the company to decide, what they get. So I just like to run standard, but we'll show you this here. So we just click on the Get Quotes button right here, and it does its thinking. So this will bring up everything that's available. As you can see here at the top, we got 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and 30 years. Just click on whatever tab. So we'll do a 15 year. And right here you have the companies for 100,000. And let me show you this up here, where you can view it by the premium. You can do annual, semi-annual, quarterly, and monthly. I normally put monthly, but we can show monthly rates on here. So for a 15-year, $100,000 term, looks like Protective is the best at about $14.80. We scroll down a little bit further, and we come to the $250,000 protection. So you can see what's there. And then down a little bit further, and you've got your 500,000. So you can alternate between all these and show whatever you want. Let's pick this one right here, this North American Advantage. So you see it's $28.82. You can click on this Apply button, and this will bring up 2 options for you. You can either do the e-application or you can do a paper form. Most people like doing the e-app, and you just click right on here like that, and it'll bring up the iGo forms. And this is where you'll be able to fill in everything, all their information, and start the e-application. So once you go through this, like I said, it's pretty much already populated for you. You just click right here where it says on the little highlighted box, click Select, and it'll bring up the application. And from this point, you can just go through the application and fill out everything and hit Submit. Sometimes it's a little slow. So we'll just bear with us for a second. And there you go. So it tells you if there's any pre-qualifications that you need. Like you have to be 18 years or older, face amounts are not available. So you just go through this, make sure everything fits for the client there, and then click on Next. And then, like I said, this is where the application will pop up. So anything in yellow, you got to fill out, or it's not going to let you move on. So I always say, if you don't know the answer yourself, ask your customer. They'll tell you. All right. So I just want to go back here. You can also click the paper forms, and that'll bring up whatever you need here. So basically, it's saying everything in yellow right here is needed. Sometimes you can, click off some of these. Like if you know they want to pay annual, you don't need the EFT form. You can just click that off, and boom, it goes away. You've got 2 choices. You can either email or print it. So, and also want to show you right here where it says Forms. We can click on Forms, and what that does, it will generate whatever we need. So let's just say we want to do, a Mutual Omaha, or let's do Protective. We'll click on Protective. We'll click Service Type. We want new business, obviously, and we'll say Florida, and the product type would be a term life policy. And we'll just say we're going to do a 20-year term. So it's simple as that right there. And you just click Search, and it brings up everything you need. So we'll go back, And then right here in this tab is where you can fill out the e-app also. This tab right here, the underwriting tab, I found this is pretty handy. If you're not sure of what requirements are and everything, we can click on this tab right here. And let's say we want to look up, let's do John Hancock. So we click on John Hancock there, we select a product, and we want to do a 15-year term with them. And then we click here, product features. We'll just click on product features, and then we'll hit look up. This right here tells us everything we need to know. Minimum death benefit is $100,000. We have to be 18 years and old, 18 years or older, age 75, and it's based on the nearest age. These are different risk classes, where it's approved, any riders there are, or anything like that. You click on the underwriting guidelines up here, and it tells you, you can find out everything. So if they have high blood pressure, you can click right here, and it will show you everything that needs to be done for high blood pressure, and it goes by the different rate classes up here. Basically, this is everything you need to know as far as if they have some kind of health issue. And this right here, this is pretty cool. I like this. This is basically lets you know, like, let's say they are 45 years old. So if we're doing a $100,000 death benefit, you come right here, they're 45, so we got 41 to 50. This tells us exactly what is needed for that. So they need a blood profile, home office urine specimen, motor vehicle report, and a paramed exam. So this also lets you know, and you can tell the customer, hey, this is what you're going to need. Some of these might require phone interviews. Some might be non-medical. Transamerica has non-medical programs. So we can, look here as a quick reference guide and just tells you everything you need to know about what's going to be needed for that customer. So we'll go back to this information here. And like I said, right here in the product information, this is where you can do term and GUL. So if you want to run GUL, you do it right there. And where the term said term, what it was, this is where you can select what issue or what ages you're going to run it up to. So normally I just click 121 because we want to run it all the way out to maximum issue age. And then we just, like I said before, make it real simple. Click on the health class. Let's make them standard. And very, very simple. Oh, we forgot the date of birth. So we'll make them 45 and a male. And again, basically, it's what I told you before, very similar to the term. It just shows you everything, all the companies are available all the way up to age 121, what policies there are. You can click on these right here, and it'll tell you the underwriting requirements and everything that other sheet told you before. Sometimes if you click on view all details, well, that didn't work this time, but you can get that in the same place the underwriting was too. So that's pretty much how the software, the quoting tool works for this. The other thing is if you want to, let's say, save something or do a comparison. Let's just do a comparison here of these three companies. You can click on this download right here, and you can click on list report. And what that'll do is it'll do a comparison and just give you something that you can take with you and print out and take with you, and it'll show you easily what that comparison is, and then you can take that to your customer and say, well, here's the top three companies I came up with, and here's what their prices are. And that makes it a nice little tool for you also. The other thing is you can, you can click on this where I just was, and save it to your computer. You just put in whatever you want there, and it'll save. And we'll just not worry about saving it now, but you can do that too also. So with that.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Warren. Hopefully, you guys got a lot of good information out of today's webinar. I just wanted to give you guys our contact information one more time here, so that you have. sorry about that, so that you have all of our current info there. So again, my name is Mark Bolger. I'm the Director of Sales for Final Expense. And this is Warren Redinger, and he's the Director of Sales for Life and Annuities. So Warren and Josh Horton, they actually work together. So some of you that are used to working with Josh, know that you have Warren available as well as as another resource here at Pinnacle. So thanks again, everybody. We'll be sure to get you all a copy of this webinar for your records. Certainly feel free to give us a call if you guys have any questions, and we look forward to working with you. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.